Thanks for tuning in. This is Gurjan, aka Gigi.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Mika.
And this is
A Word at the Table.
So we're gonna do a bag of questions before getting into the topic. So, this is like a random question, but just if you guys had to be a Disney princess, which one would you be?
Oh, I know.
Who?
What?
I said I know.
I was thinking Mulan. Too.
Mulan. Oh
is
my gosh.
popping.
And Mulan's the only person that has two parents. She
Oh
wasn't
my
trying.
gosh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Mine is
that.
sad, but I just love that she was black.
Oh.
Princess from the
I
Frog.
didn't like
That
that
Princess of the
movie.
Frog was so
It was-
black.
It's like they threw us crumbs.
Growing up,
Yeah.
I loved Snow White and Belle and
Belle was
Beauty and the
cute.
Beast.
Yeah, Belle Reeves.
But she was. She had to
Belle, I
do that
loved.
beast stuff. I'll be with him.
Yeah.
He's a little emotionally abusive. Like, locked her
Yeah,
away.
he's like,
He's like, you can't see your friends and family.
Maybe he's gonna be all abused.
Yeah.
At least she'll be in a mansion though.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly.
But
And
it's
her
like-
name
She was
was Belle.
she was looking out the window like, like the sad music playing.
But no, I would be Mulan because I felt like she was such a boss. Like she did
Yeah.
everything on her own.
And she knows how to fight.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy's her friend. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but she like made sure everybody was good. Like besides her family, like she changed the whole. She made like a huge impact. So yeah,
like the emperor was like, oh my gosh. The part that makes me cry every single time she comes back home to her father and she's like, Father, I have this and the sword and da da da, and he like slaps it away and he's like, yo, the best. He didn't say the yo, but he's like,
I feel like we've said this in the podcast before.
oh my gosh, but it gets me crying every time. I don't know. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm like,
no, it really is sweet, and like everything just went so well. Like the I feel like the flower was blossoming. Remember when you made the analogy of the flower?
Yeah.
And he's like, when it blossoms, it's supposed to blossom at its right time. Mulan really.
And then I think they had like 98 Degrees for the soundtrack and Christina.
Oh, that was a good
Christina,
soundtrack.
yeah. Mulan.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack to Princess and the Frog though. Is that
Girl.
No, I do.
Name a song.
Mika's holding on to that.
Neo, All I Ever Needed.
It wasn't a hit. It wasn't.
You're the no.
I see.
Frozen.
Or be a man.
Oh,
That one too.
yeah.
I don't know the songs from Mulan.
That was the movie.
Next.
You guys can pick a question. I'm going to that one. Just was a random question. I like Princess Disney.
Oh, I have a question. I was talking to my friend Ashley about this. All right, so say if you fell in love, right? This is your soulmate. And you guys have to answer quite honestly too. No fronting.
I'm trying.
So this is your soulmate. This is like the love of your life and stuff. But his mom does not like you, and she comes to you and she's like, "How much money is it gonna take for you to stop dating my son?"
Oh,
What are you gonna say to her?
This is my soulmate. Like I know for sure God put us together. This is the one.
this is someone
There's somebody you love.
You're in love with.
There's someone you love. Because I don't know if I believe in soulmates.
Oh,
Like I feel like
another topic.
If it doesn't work out with me, there will be someone else. Okay, there will be someone else.
I mean, if I knew for sure without a doubt that this person was my soulmate, I would have taken nothing. But if I was just in love with you, I could name a number.
Girl, you are my people, son. You are my people. Because why am I marrying into you? Your mom doesn't like me. She's gonna be at the wedding talking about,
she's gonna be in your life talking about
I know.
entire life.
Like, and love doesn't pay the bills. Like, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm just gonna ask for a cool million. You know? If you cannot produce that, then leave us, me and your son alone.
But then how does the conversation go when you leave him? He's gonna be like,
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna be like, babe, your mom is horrible.
I would take
Look at
the
the check she gave
money,
me.
and then like 2 years, I'd be like, just get back together. I would do both. Like,
Yo, you would come
yeah.
You would wait for the old lady to die and come through like, hey, babe.
Yeah.
something.
You have like a fur and pearls on red. Do you remember me?
Why are you bawling all of a sudden? Like, where you get this money from? much that guy meant to me, but
Soulmate. If it's a true soulmate, I'd say no. But
I don't believe in soulmates. I don't know. I feel like it would hurt because I'm like, yo, I really do love you, but these bills though, like, you know what else I do love? Commas in my bank account. Okay, commas, not one, commas in my bank account.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like you would just break up with him and just be.
I'll let him know.
Let him know.
It would be a sad breakup.
Mom.
Yeah, it would be like the frame would be playing in the background and stuff.
Oh, I love the frame.
I feel like you would never find like love with another person again, just because you'd be happy by yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
But you'd still like have that question mark, like, damn. You know, would it be better if I was starving, but with him? Like,
that's true. You might have that, like, that link.
But then, like, it's just your mom hates me so much.
Yeah, in the moment, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would take the money.
I'll take the money. Did you
want to
take
my
the money?
belly.
If I'm not feeling him like that, yeah.
No, it's your soulmate.
I mean, it's funny how feelings switch up.
Like, it wasn't that serious, folks. Okay, it wasn't that serious.
I thought about it.
We were only together for a couple of years. Okay?
That's how you're gonna start picking out all the wrong things about him. You be like, I knew it.
Every time you guys have a fight, bro, I left $1 million on the table for you. Okay?
Yeah, that was another. Like, if you stayed. And then something down the road, like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, be like, damn, I could have had $1 million.
Oh my gosh, if we break up, like, I don't care how long, if we break up, I will. Yeah, remember that time you offered me $1 million to leave your son, but we're not together anymore?
Well, no, don't tell her that. Tell her, like, y'all are still planning to get married.
Yeah,
don't let her know.
She's like, oh, you think you slick. He already gave me a text, girl.
Like, I know. I know y'all are not together.
Oh my gosh.
Does it want to do one more question or?
We can do one more.
Okay.
I'm so hungry. I have to cut this. I'm really hungry.
Did I eat?
Okay.
I had eggs. Just boiled eggs.
Yo, eggs fill you up in the morning, right? Like,
Yeah,
I ate like at like
morning.
8 in the morning. 8 or 9, something like that.
Oh my god.
When did you call me?
I don't know. I was dead this morning.
Oh.
You like revived me with your phone call. So, what if anything is too serious to be joked about?
Ooh.
A lot.
Yeah, like death, family.
I mean, death after a time. Like, people make Abraham Lincoln jokes. The man died.
Yeah, I mean, like the way somebody dies. Like, if somebody died in like sickness, can't joke about
Oh
that.
my gosh, somebody made. It was like inappropriate. That's why I laughed. But somebody made a miscarriage joke or whatever. Yeah.
That's
foul.
And it was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my gosh, why would you post this?
Wow. Yeah, that's another thing.
That's something you don't joke about.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just scroll like by and not hit the like.
And it's like, I think real personal family things that, like, I feel like everyone in their family has, like, not like a secret, but something, maybe someone that you're just like, oh my gosh, like, those little sensitive things, like, you don't talk about. Yeah, that's what we'll talk about.
Mental handicap. I hate when people make fun of mental handicap.
Just like,
people.
what's wrong with you?
That.
Yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
true.
Like when Trump did the whole like thing with the reporter, I was like, "What are you doing?
How I was so
disgusted."
Yeah.
Did you see what he tweeted this morning?
No. Somebody was like, CNN is basically just guess what Trump did now.
He tweeted this morning that Obama tapped his phone lines while he was running for president.
I mean, you're still president, so I guess it didn't work.
Anyway, whatever.
Shut up, Trump.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
that's fake news.
I can't really think of anything else not to talk about. But yeah.
Oh, apparently, is that my jacket? But anyways, I think that's my jacket. But I don't. Apparently, rape jokes are a thing. I've never personally heard of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but rape jokes are like a thing.
They are a thing.
Who jokes about that?
They are a thing. Yeah. I think. I feel
Why
like.
Why is that funny?
Stand-up comedians, like
really
famous ones, have made rape jokes. Yeah.
Not cool.
How even I think like when people joke about. I mean, I guess you can like prison. I don't like it. It always makes me feel uncomfortable. It's not funny.
No, prison jokes are not
The
funny.
reason why I'm not saying prison jokes are funny, but like the reason why prison jokes are funny is because people are like emasculating a man is like the funniest thing you could ever do. You know, like for some reason it's just like hilarious if a man is in a wig. They're like, oh my god, like rolling on the floor laughing.
That's true. All of those Instagram comedians.
Yeah, like
Sure.
literally, sometimes they just have a wig on. Like they're just like saying knowledge, and people are like, oh my god, this is so funny. I'm like, yeah, I'm like whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Let's get to the topic.
Yeah. All right. So today's topic is going to be freestyle. So I'm going to list the different topics, and then whatever you guys feel like talking about, we'll talk about.
Ooh, is it gonna be like anonymous, like option A, B, or something? Is it gonna be like something like that?
Whatever we feel like. We're just gonna go with the flow. We're gonna see what happens. This is a freestyle episode. We'll see what goes down.
All right, bet.
All right. Topic 1: throwing shade during prayer. So actually, Vicky had told me recently something that happened at church where one of the pastors thought that they forgot his birthday, but they were really doing a surprise birthday party downstairs. But he was asked to do the closing prayer, and during the prayer, he was like, bless everybody here, even though they forgot my birthday during the prayer. So that's what our topic is about. Throwing shade during prayer. So topic number 2, Bible stories you never really understood. So, well, maybe not understood, but you just questioned. I got this topic from Mika. She was reading a book, I think, and she just was in a book. I don't know. But basically, she was wondering about Jesus and the fig tree and how he cursed it, and we kind of talked about it, and we all gave our
I have a lot of those, by the way.
A lot of those, yeah.
Why did Jesus pick Judas as his disciple? Why?
Yeah. So
that's exactly, the Judas that betrayed him?
Judas Iscariot, whatever. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
The Judas that betrayed him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because like, isn't that part of the plan? Wasn't that supposed to?
I don't know.
Why wasn't it somebody from the outside? Anyway.
So that's what that topic is about. It's about Bible stories we never really we questioned. Topic number 3, church pet peeves that are kind of ridiculous. So I have sometimes during collection, when it's time for you to fill out the envelope, sometimes I feel like I don't have time before the basket comes, and then by the time, like, I'm rushing, and it's a weird, ridiculous pet peeve.
That's why I do it before church.
Yeah, but I never have the envelope, which I need to prepare for. But anyway, do you have a church pet peeve? Anything that's kind of ridiculous, but you know, it kind of bothers you when you're at church. So yeah, I need more time to fill out my envelope. And the last topic is a time when the good word hits home. So my pastor was talking about a family series, and he just talked about being like first Adam and Eve. They were the first family, and how even though, you know, the tree, the forbidden tree, so basically they were the first family. They were born into a situation that had sin in it, but at the same time, God told them to still be fruitful and to multiply. And he said basically that your family, even though it may not be perfect, there may be flaws, that you still have the authority to basically be fruitful and to have the vision of a family that God wants for you.
Yeah, I was there for that.
So that really hit home for me. And so was there a time for you that the word hit home? So I'll repeat the topics. It's throwing shade during prayer, Bible stories you were kind of questioning, church pet peeves, or a time when the good word hits home. So what do you guys feel like talking about?
I don't know if this is gonna be like a straight up topic, but my church pet peeve, I know it's ridiculous, but I guess all of them are ridiculous. But I kind of hate when the pastor says, "Turn to your neighbor and repeat after me." It's just like, one, I feel like I get played if I turn to my neighbor and my neighbors turn to someone else, and like I feel like, oh, okay, all right.
So you don't have no one to turn to?
Yeah. And then two, it's like, wait, what are we supposed to be saying again? You know, like I just like, can we just focus on the message? Why I gotta communicate with my neighbor right now? Like, I don't know him.
It's true. And then you might not have like sometimes they say like turn to like 3 people.
Oh,
and, you don't have
and now it's chaos. Now it's everybody's. Oh,
I always just sit down. Like when they're like, say hi to 5 people, I'm sitting down right away. They're coming to me.
I'm like, people be like, especially because I go to a Creole church or whatever, right? So they'll be like, turn to your neighbor and say la 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 or whatever, right? And I'm just like, okay, I didn't catch that. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just gonna shake your hand and nod.
So
or whatever, right?
I'll just be like, God bless.
Yeah, I'll just be like, and then I feel like they're thinking like, oh, you idiot. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking that, but like they're probably expecting you to say what the
And I didn't catch
it.
Yeah.
There's probably something that's very like inspiring, and you know, and tell them it's gonna turn around.
Yeah, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I love you. I love you, neighbor. And I'm just like, oh, so you're not gonna say it back.
And that's exactly that causes problems.
Sister Victoria didn't say it back.
That's so true.
I don't know if I have a church pet peeve.
Yeah, I think I actually stole this
I have
topic.
a lot of pet peeves overall. Like, a lot of things about people bother me, period. But I don't think I have. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I stole this topic from my group chat, from from Church of the Harvest group chat. And, like, somebody was like, we talked about this a long time ago. And someone was like, when someone is like really loud with praise and worship and they kind of get distracted from their own praise and worship. And I was like, that's true. Like someone's like a little like out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like will look and it'll probably distract you from actually like continuing your own praise. So.
Ooh, this odor, right? So I don't think it's a pet peeve, but it makes me feel so uncomfortable. So like somebody's, getting down with the Holy Spirit, they jump in, they, yelling and stuff like that. They're making a scene. That's totally fine. I'm not going to look at you because like, I feel like that's weird to look at that person, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not going to look at you. But then if I'm looking straight forward and then I see the people in front of me looking back like, oh, whatever, I'm just like, okay, can we not? Can we not look?
Yeah. It's like, at what point do you look? At what point is it like rude?
I feel like you shouldn't look because like that's such an intimate moment right there, and it's like you don't look at intimacy. Like if you and your boyfriend are kissing, I'm not saying that's the same, but like you don't want people to be like just like looking at you. It's like, okay, this is my moment right now,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I really never thought about that because I'm one of those who look.
But sometimes
I don't stare, but I'll look and
that's fine to look to see what's going on, but like
I don't.
when people stare, I'm just like, okay, should I look too? What's going on?
That's
fair, but I'll look to see like if you wow out a little too much. What if like something happens?
There's a woman specifically in my church that she wears these dresses to church, and every time she falls or something, I'm like, I hope something doesn't pop out. Like,
are they tight or are they just flowy?
Tight, or sometimes like short. And like the ushers have to run over with a blanket and throw it on her. It's like, come on, girl, like dress like more appropriately if you know that's your thing.
Yeah.
Like,
good point. I don't know. Yeah, somebody needs to talk to her about that.
That's such an uncomfortable conversation. So when you and the Lord are having your moments, we're all worried about.
Not about her praise, because everybody praises differently. That's like your own relationship with God. But I mean her outfits, like maybe
that's still an uncomfortable.
That's still something you can't go. So you're supposed to be dressing however you want.
Yeah, like I don't want to demonize somebody for because what if someone's wearing like a knee length, like all the way down, and I'm offended by your ankles? There are some people, Haitians, are offended by shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah, like if you're wearing
ankles
like a tank,
are a thing for some people.
Yeah, ankles so your perception is your perception. It's not like the workplace where we have like a code of conduct and it's like written. So like
I don't mean like don't come as you are, but I mean if you're gonna be out here praising and dropping yourself on the floor, then that's something different.
That's something you should figure out on your own. Like if somebody was like, "Can you please talk to Sister Carol?" I'd be like, "Oh no, please! I don't want to." That's such an uncomfortable conversation.
Like, I think people on the praise and worship team too, they need to watch what they wear. Like, because I just feel like sometimes it's distracting. Especially, I'm a woman. I'm not attracted to women, but men, they can't help but look.
Oh yeah.
And if you're coming to church, you're gonna be on stage the whole time. Like, just don't be like all out there, because it's just it just causes a distraction. Oh, maybe that's my pet peeve.
Oh,
but when I see it though, like I don't really let it bother me. But I always say, like, come on, girls, just better.
Right. Okay, was there any other topics you want to talk about? Throwing the shade, Bible stories we're confused about, a time when the good word hits home.
I mean, the Judas thing is something recently, since I'm reading all Jesus, like Jesus' ministry on the earth is what I'm reading these days, in preparation for Easter. And I forget which verse, but it says something like, Jesus chose Judah. Not Judah. What's his name?
I think Judah means Jesus, right? Judas. Yeah. But Judah means like Jesus, right? Because there's this like this song where it's like, praise him, Judah, praise him, Judah. And I'm like, why are we praising Judah? You know,
I would assume so.
Yeah, it has to mean God. Because, like, what? That guy? Like,
who else are we singing to right now?
Yeah, but I was just like, I forget what it says exactly, but it said something like, Jesus chose Judah something, and I'm like, what, Judas? Why do I keep saying Judas? Judas. And I'm like, why did he choose one of his 12 to be like the person to betray him? And also because in other parts he also says that the 12 will judge the 12 tribes of Israel. Like, who's gonna be the 12? Is it gonna be Judas? Like,
he was like, hey, I'm
or
back
is it,
and I'm better.
And then I'm like, is it Paul? Paul wasn't a disciple, he was an apostle.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is a deep conversation because there's layers to this. But like, one, I think he chose one of his 12 because like it's probably like symbolizes like anybody can betray you, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and also like the people that demonized, well, not demonized, but criminalized Jesus were the religious people. It wasn't the Gentiles who had no belief system or whatever. It was the people that were versed in the law. That's the people that were going after him. So I don't know. It's just, I'm like, why does it have to come from within? But
I remember T.D. Jakes kind of talked about it a little bit. Like, he was talking about like I guess he was talking about your bad moments, like in comparison, like your bad moments kind of also develop you in a sense. So when he talked about like Judas, because I'm probably gonna ruin it, but he was like, what would Jesus be without Judas? But I get what you're saying. You're saying that like, why would it have to be someone that's in the circle? Like, I get
it's
that.
more poignant.
But he was like, Judas actually led him to his destiny. Without Judas, there would be there would be no Jesus.
Yeah, it was part of the plan.
Like,
and didn't he knew that it was Judas that was going to betray him, and he still broke bread with him. The last time Judas was like, oh.
Yeah, and it says, before he said that, he said that he was, I think somewhere it says like, Jesus was troubled in his spirit because he loved them so much. And it's like, I guess it's also like that pain that he experienced with someone that he loved so dearly to be betraying him.
Yeah, so I think
selling him out. But Judas was bad all over. Like, he used to steal money from the offering. Like,
wow,
it wasn't just the one thing.
Like, no one pulled him aside. Like, Judas, what is going on, kid? Like,
and like when Martha took the perfume to wash.
Wait, who's Martha? Oh, who's Martha?
Feet. That's Martha, right?
Who is Martha?
The woman when they were dining or eating at at somebody's house
Uh-huh.
with Lazarus was there too. I think Martha, if I'm
Was she Mary's friend? Like Magdalene?
possibly. I don't know.
Because now I'm starting to think.
Yeah, she came in with the perfume and washed Jesus's feet with the perfume and used her hair to dry it off.
Oh.
And Judas said, "Why would you waste that? Because you could have sold that for a year's salary, and that money could have been given to
all
the
about
poor."
the money, son.
And
Judas don't get it.
Play games.
And the thing is, he was the one that was guarding the money. Like he was stealing from the money. Like.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my gosh! All around a hot.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it wasn't just the one thing. It was just continuous. He was just because he never. I think from reading like the little upsets that he did or things that he did throughout. Like he never believed Jesus to be the Messiah. And I think I read some commentary where it says that Judas never called Jesus Messiah or Lord. He always called him teacher, not Lord.
Yo, Judas is really he's really representative of a lot of people when you think about it. Because you can't serve two gods.
Yep.
And if Judas was all about that money. He was all about that bread or whatever, right? So you can make it seem like you're one of the apostles. You can make it like on the outside, you're of Christ. I always see you with Christ. You're always doing Christ's work. You must be like a great person. But at the end of the day, Jesus is not your God. Money is or whatever, right? But you're just going through the motions.
Yep.
Right.
That's really deep.
Yeah. Be symbolic of someone who like goes to church and like knows everything and I'm right here with Jesus. Really.
But at the end of the day, you don't get it. You don't get that true devotion because someone's sitting there like wiping Jesus' feet with their hand, and you like, you know how many bills you could pay with that? Like, you don't get it. You know.
The sad thing is, I feel like it's possible that it's most of the churches like that.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
I feel like in that sense, you could even though you're doing the work of the Lord, if your heart's not in it, if you're sitting there and you're like praising two gods or whatever, because I don't think Judas really knew I'm about to like be Judas or whatever. Like he's he doesn't know he's the bad guy or whatever. He's just like, this makes sense. Like, if you're giving me money, I need this money. He's not the Lord anyway or whatever, right? Afterwards, he was like, oh my God, what did I do? Or whatever, right? Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah.
That's mad deep.
Yeah, because even after, he committed suicide.
Yeah, because I feel like that's when he realized, what did I do,
Right. And it's like, no matter, the amount of money, it wasn't enough for him to feel.
I feel like it wasn't a lot of money. In my head, wasn't it a couple of dollars? Right?
It doesn't matter. He was stealing it, pocketing it for himself.
Yeah.
Who knows? For what?
It was like, Judas, you want us to pay your rent or something? He's like, oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, you want that loaf of bread?
He's like, yeah. I need that.
No, you don't. You actually really don't. All right. So, anything other?
You gonna betray the man and show up for the dinner? You still gonna show up? So that's food.
Wasn't that in the movie?
He left right after Jesus said that.
Because he was that uncomfortable.
After Jesus
probably
said,
took it to go home.
One of you is going to betray me. And then Jesus said, hurry up, do what you gotta do. And he stormed out of the room, and the rest of the 11 disciples, they stayed behind. And to them, in that moment, they thought Jesus was talking about, shopping or something, getting the supper ready for the Passover feast. They thought that's what Jesus was talking about. It's afterward that they were like,
Judas made it mad high. Judas made it mad high. One of it, he took his plate. He went. So I'm gonna take this to go. I'm gonna take it to go. Obviously, I'm not being respected around here.
They're calling me out and that.
Everybody was like, "What's his problem?"
Oh my gosh. And even when you read throughout the Gospels, of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they were in the presence of God, and they just didn't get it. Like, a lot of things Jesus said, they're like, huh? Like, they would ask the silliest questions. You're like,
wait, who are these people?
no, I'm saying, like, throughout the Gospels, I feel like the disciples didn't get it. Like, they didn't get what Jesus, they didn't really get the messages. They believed Jesus to be Lord and to be the Son of God. But many times the things that Jesus would say, it would just go over their heads. Right?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you just read and just pay attention to, like, their responses and their questions, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm always jumping off topic, but it's kind of like when you watch the first season of a show and they always have like that one character that doesn't get what's going on. So there's basically explaining things. Like, you as the audience, you get it because like you know what the show, like the first season of Scandal. No, you don't watch Scandal. Do you watch Scandal? No? Okay. So the first season of Scandal, like, you know it's a political drama and Kerry Washington, like, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to fix all these problems or whatever, right? And you can kind of tell that she's like the by any means necessary type of woman. But she has like this new girl in the firm where she doesn't get how great Kerry Washington is and like how like boss she is or whatever. So like she'll be like, oh, and we're gonna do this, that, and the third. And Quinn's like, wait, what? And you're just like, as the audience, you're like, come on, girl, like, you know, like, so like. I feel like when you're in the midst of it, you're just like, what? But like on the outside looking, like us reading it, we're like, come on, like, this is God.
And even, I mean, Jesus even said, like, after he departs from the earth, we're supposed to be able to achieve greater things after he leaves. Like, the miracles should have gotten greater.
We as mankind or we as Christians?
We as Christians.
As Christians?
Yeah. Believers. Yeah. Because it says, like, I think he says sending the Holy Spirit, and you're going to have the Holy Spirit, and you're going to have my word. Like,
the Bible.
Right.
Yeah. So
that kind of doesn't make sense why it goes over their heads, because they're probably like, oh, okay. Like,
the amount of
and then
faith.
afterward, they're probably like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, sometimes I read a passage, I'm like, nothing was in there for me. It's just, and then another time I could read that same passage, I'm like, whoa. Like, what just happened? But so it's, I guess it just depends on the place where you are, too.
I used to be like, crazy envious of people that were like around Jesus' time because it's like so easy to like it's so easy to like be a follower of Christ if homie's right there. You literally just follow him like, yo, so what's going on? What we doing today?
Right? Like, you don't gotta think like
there's almost no doubt.
Jesus said we about to go to this.
Event.
So we meeting up at this time.
Exactly. So like it's like you have no doubt. You just follow the motions and like woo woo whatever. But like now thinking about it, the amount of faith that would take because like how many times, even though we know about Jesus, but how many times have somebody probably come out of the woodwork? It's like, oh, I'm the Messiah, guys. Hey, I'm like, why do you think the Jews were so mad when like Jesus came around and was like, I'm the Messiah? Like. If he was the first person to do it, then they'd be like, oh my gosh, you must be the real deal. But like there must have been multiple, like even now today, like there are guys that have their cults and they'd be like, I'm the second coming of Christ, guys, or whatever, right? Yeah. So the fact that they found actual Jesus, or whatever, right, and followed him, like you guys were right. Like you didn't follow any of the other bozos, you know, like that must take like a lot of faith. Because if right now, think about it, it's 2017. Somebody's like, hey, I'm Christ and I came back. You'd be like, okay, so he's crazy.
Like, I think that's what we would most be like. Most of us would be like, I'm not gonna be a what disciple. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
like, who are you?
Yeah, like
and you're
so hard for
broke. Like
exactly.
Like what are you gonna feed me?
They didn't realize that this was legit God. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like he had like a name tag. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Even if he did, where'd you get that?
I mean,
Out of thin air.
It's a better time to live these days, but
Yeah, because you know the truth that he's got. Before they were just like, I'm gonna trust my gut, and you want like one of them was like a tax collector making money, and
Matthew.
He was like, so you just want me to quit and follow you? All right, you know.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
You just stop and mess up everything that I got going on.
Yeah.
And why did Jesus prefer Peter?
Who did he build his church on? Paul, Peter.
Well, Peter was his, because they're like...
Was Peter the black one?
I don't know.
One of them was black.
Really?
Yeah. Because, like, they went somewhere or whatever, right? They went to, like, Rome or something where it was, like, super white. And one of the guards was like, you're an Egyptian, right? And I was like, you're Egyptian means, like I know you're black. You're black, or whatever, right? And he was like, yeah, but that don't mean that.
Oh, my God.
One of them was black, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but Jesus preferred, like, because it says, like, Jesus loved Peter. And then Peter was, like, lying on Jesus's shoulder, on his chest. I'm like, okay, homie, like, why are you so comfortable? Like, how, two grown men, like, why are you on his chest?
Yeah.
That's a little weird. That's very comfortable.
That's very...
No, but that's the thing. Like, when I first read it, I was like, what? Why would he do that? But then when you think about it, like, in other cultures, you walk around, you see two men holding hands. Like, that's completely normal.
That's like, I think that's an American thing where it's like everybody's like super homophobic and they're like, oh, did you just like tap my hand and like I'm gonna fight you or whatever.
I mean, even in Haiti, like, men don't walk around holding hands, but like if they're like walking around like hugging each other, it's completely normal. Like in India, you see it everywhere. Like men just hold hands, like interlocking fingers and everything. Yeah.
Like Europe, you'll kiss a guy. Not in the mouth, obviously, but like you know, like that's totally fine. Yeah. If you do that here, you'll get shot.
Yeah, I went to Italy. There was no personal space. Like men were like here talking to each other. It's crazy.
So I don't know. Him just laying on his chest was just like, you're my friend.
Yeah, it's probably normal. It just seems weird.
It's just really intimate. Yeah.
It's super normal.
That shows how like much we sexualize things.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Not everything is about sex.
Oh,
like, my goodness, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's a whole other topic. Like, everything is
everything's sexualized. Like, you can't even say certain words and people are like,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I literally just want extra meat on my pizza. Like, that's what I was talking about.
I guess pause, but...
Yeah.
Okay. So, was there any other topics that you guys felt?
What was the other one?
The other ones was throwing shade during prayer and a time when the good word hits home.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens to me. I feel like on a like Sunday, like weekly basis.
Getting the word and you're being fed spiritually. That's good.
I mean, is that wrong to be offended by a prayer? If someone's throwing shade?
I don't think it's wrong. It's just, I find it hilarious. Like, it's like, out of all the times you want to do it during a prayer.
My mom does that.
I don't think it's proper. But my mom does it too.
My mom does it a lot. Like she'll do it right. She'll make sure that you're listening. And she'll be like, shoo, she doesn't listen, but Lord, you will make her listen. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm a little offended. I kind of want to open my eyes right now.
Prayer. Like, she'll call a family prayer meeting and then she'll
tell you about yourself to the Lord. It's kind of like the Lord is there and she's like,
We could have just talked, Mom. Like, we could have just had a conversation.
You ain't had to bring the Lord into it.
God into it. Make me close my eyes.
God's like...
Alright, so cool. I guess that wraps up the podcast for today. Thanks for tuning in. And this is
A Word at the Table.
Till next time.
I was just saying that we're getting better at that.
Actually, we don't usually do it at the end.
Okay.
Sorry. That was our last episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it.
So this is it for this season. Join us for the next.
You can stay in touch with us on Instagram and on Facebook. Thanks again.
This is
A Word at the Table.